Well, if you're planning a wedding in Texas and it's going to be an outdoor wedding, the one thing you want to do is make sure you go out to the garden and get all the copperheads out, because you sure don't want any of your patrons to get bitten, especially not by a venomous snake. That's just a trip to the hospital that nobody wants to take. Gotta love Texas Copperheads, the old Agkistrodon Contortrix Contortrix. You can see the copper head, you can see the diamond shape. The poison sacs, of course, right here. Those people that milk snakes that are so crazy that they actually free-handle these silly things. They actually, when they grab the snake, they'll grab it behind the neck and then they'll push forward on these glands and milk the venom up through the front, through the fangs, out into the collection device. Now, my sister put the hoe to this one, and as you can see, on the underside, look how beautiful and how copper-colored the Texas saddles are. I call those Texas saddles because they kind of look like drunken pictures made by people of Texas. At any rate, on the back side of a copperhead, you can see the saddles. These are the saddles right here. Now, depending on where the copperhead is from, they can be completely different colors, but almost all of them have sort of this saddle type structure. And what you notice with copperheads, particularly the little ones, is that the tail is almost always a different color. Usually on the little ones it's a bright, almost fluorescent yellow, and a lot of times they'll use it as a decoy. They'll shake it and attract the motion of something, like a mouse will come over and then they'll strike it, and then that's their meal, and that's how they attract their meals. Now, as you can see on this particular copperhead, as with most venomous snakes, I'll just turn him over here. Let me see. You can see that he has cat-like slit pupils. You can see that he not only has nostrils in front, but you see those big holes, those are loreal pits. Up in the top of the roof of his mouth, you see that big long valley which goes back into the snake, and what that is that's where the loreal pits receive thermal information, much like an infrared device would receive thermal information, and I guess it's sent to the brain from there and processed. Now, as you can see, this copperhead is called a copperhead because the head is very copper. You know, it's very coppery looking. I'm not sure the picture actually shows it well enough. Now, one interesting thing about this copperhead is it just kind of has two black dots. I've never seen that before on a copperhead, but then, you know, I haven't handled a whole lot of them. I kind of wish I had caught this one live so we could film it alive, but for the sake of safety, my sister being a doctor, it was decided to take this one out before someone got zapped. So anyway, you can see the fangs right there. This particular copperhead has two sets of fangs in each hole. You see there's a little protective sheath around the fang, and what happens is that protective sheath, see, you now can actually see barely see two little fangs on that far side, and that yellow stuff that you see coming out, that is actually venom. The yellow that you see right there, that is venom. And when I first picked this snake up, even though the head had been off for almost 5 minutes, it still struck 3 times at me. At any rate, thought you might like to look and see what a copperhead looks like, to know to look out for them, not to pick one up, and if you get bit, to head straight to the hospital.